Welcome to Pro Tools with Speech, an accessible guide to using Pro Tools with VoiceOver on the Mac. I'm Matt Demert.
And I'm Rob Polivka. Welcome to ProToolsWithSpeech.com. Today we're going to take a look at plugin settings and actually changing the settings that a plugin defaults to when you open it. Now, by default, a plugin will open up with the factory default settings that it comes stock at, but we're going to show you a way to set it to a user-defined preset to speed up your workflow, to help you guys work a little faster if you always want something applied or a starting point rather than the factory default.
So one way I use this in my workflow is with the stock 7-band EQ. Majority of the time I want to have a high pass engaged, but by default, the high pass is switched off. So I have a preset that I switch to that already has my high pass engaged, but rather than having to switch to this each and every time I instantiate an EQ, we're going to show you how we can set this so that it's the default behavior. So I'm going to instantiate an EQ here on this particular insert. We'll just do a voiceover space.
Menu checkmark, no insert. Plugin, submenu.
And we'll just right arrow
plugin,
here.
Submenu, EQ.
Right
EQ,
arrow again.
Channels, EQ3 1-band, EQ3 7-band, mono.
And I'm just going to press enter.
Effect num view button, plugin, EQ3 7-band.
We'll move to the settings box here.
Preset, FXPI set, auto, text, intro, D combo box, less than factory default, greater than combo
and
box.
You can hear that we are on the factory default, and it says less than factory default, which would indicate to us that it is the factory default from Avid. So I'm going to actually navigate to the plugin by pressing VoiceOver End because I'm in Pro Tools 11.
FXTDM edit view plugin.
And we'll interact with this VoiceOver Shift down arrow.
Interact with FXTDM edit view plugin.
And let's just take a look at the default behavior here of the high pass.
0.0 off phase high pass type out high pass enable 1.00 6 dB/up 20.0 hertz.
So those are the default
high
behavior. I'm going to go to my settings file that I have saved. So we'll do a VoiceOver Shift up arrow to stop interacting. And we're going to navigate back over here to our presets.
Native automation compare plugin set next set previous set EQ3 set target button effect by plugin automation less than factory default greater than combo box.
And we'll just do a VoiceOver space.
Menu checkmark less than factory.
And I'm going to hit D because I know this is named default.
Default high pass 30 hertz.
And I'll press enter.
Default high pass 30 hertz combo box.
And let's just take a quick look at the settings that I have keyed into this. So we'll do a VoiceOver End.
FXTDM edit view plugin.
And we'll interact VoiceOver Shift down arrow.
Interact with FXTDM edit view plugin. 6 items. 0.0 off phasing high pass in high pass enable 1.00 12 dB/up 30.5 hertz. High pass
so what we want to do here is make these the default settings every time we instantiate the EQ3 7-band. There's 2 steps to do this. We're going to stop interacting here, VoiceOver Shift up arrow.
Stop interacting with FXTDM edit.
And we're going to go back over to the effects settings button, VoiceOver left arrow until I get there.
Plug next pre EQ effect bypass plugin automation default high pass D combo box intro combo auto text FXPI settings command pop up button.
And we'll do a VoiceOver space here.
Menu save settings command shift.
And the first thing we want to do, we're going to up arrow
settings set as user default
to set as user default, and I'll press enter.
FXPI settings command pop up button.
And then we're going to go into this particular settings button again with VoiceOver space.
Menu save settings command shift S.
And we'll up arrow.
Settings preferences submenu.
And we're going to go into settings preferences.
Settings preferences submenu. Set plugin default to submenu.
And we're going to go into set plugin default to.
Set plugin default to submenu checkmark factory setting.
By default, it's set to factory settings, which is the Avid settings, and we'll do a down arrow here.
User setting.
And we want to go ahead and press enter here and set the default to our user settings.
FXPI settings command pop up button.
So this preset is now set as our default. I'm going to go ahead and close the plugin.
Ignoring next key press. Hide all floating windows checked. Mix. Perfect love window.
And we're going to go ahead and remove the EQ3 7-band by pressing no insert. So we'll do a VoiceOver space.
Menu. Plugin. No insert.
And I'll press enter here.
Effect num view button.
Now let's go ahead and reinstantiate this plugin to see that the default settings are now set to our customized settings. So we'll do a VoiceOver space.
Menu checkmark. No insert. Plugin. Submenu. Plugin. Sub EQ. EQ3 1-band. EQ3 7-band. Mono.
And I'll press enter.
Effect num view button. Plugin. EQ3 7.
And let's just VoiceOver right.
Preset. FX auto text. Intro. D combo box. Default high pass 30 hertz combo box.
And now rather than saying factory default, it said that it was the default high pass 30 hertz. Let's go ahead and take a look at the actual plugin settings.
FXTDM edit view plugin.
And let's interact with this VoiceOver Shift down arrow.
Interact with FXTDM edit view 0 points off phase high pass enable parameter 1.00 12 dB/30.5 hertz.
So this plugin is now defaulting to our own customized settings rather than factory default. Now, this is a technique that you can use in any plugin, not just the EQ3 7-band, to make your workflow more efficient. As always, any comments or feedback, use the Contact Us form at protoolswithspeech.com and let us know.
For more tutorials and tips and tricks on how to get the most out of Pro Tools with VoiceOver, check us out on the web at www.protoolswithspeech.com. And be sure to follow us on Twitter at PTWithSpeech.